The Game Expo is a brand new convention bursting onto the scene, running in March in Melbourne, with a focus on gaming, as the title suggests. That is video games, board games, tabletop, and cosplay. It has a bit more of a feeling of a sort of a community event. There's definitely, some companies here like Let's Play Games and Good Games in terms of board games and tabletop, but it also feels like it's very much sort of almost has a grassroots type feel. And now, an interview with Land vs. Sea creator Jon-Paul Jacques. I'm joined by Jon-Paul Jacques, the creator of Land vs. Sea. Can you tell me a little bit about your game?
Hello. Yes, I can indeed. So I have made this game Land vs. Sea, which was basically a passion project over COVID. Spending a little more time at home, it gave me some good time to create something that, to be honest, I've been thinking about for quite some time. So yeah, Land vs. Sea is a tile placement game. You're basically creating a map together. So one of the players plays land and the other person plays sea. And it's sort of a constant struggle as you sort of creating a map on the table together. You're trying to enclose little areas of land, like an island, or little sort of areas of sea to score points. So the more tiles that you have in your area of land, the more points you score. So you just basically work your way through the stack of tiles. And then, the one who's enclosed more land or more sea is the winner.
And I think we've seen the sort of rise of this game quite a bit in the last year or two. Can you tell me about what that's been like and getting the reception it's been getting?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. It's, this was a passion project that I had where I really just wanted to publish something and be able to, say, yes, that's my name on the front of the box. But it's taken off. We're working with Good Games Publishing, the guys who helped me develop this. It grew. More things happened. A lot of people, started seeing it online, reviewing it, and just seeing that energy on either YouTube or Instagram, people playing it out in the real world. It's an amazing experience. We started here in Australia, but then it quickly went to the US and Europe. And, when you see a post I saw one from Korea the other day, it's a bit of blows you away, really.
So we're at the Game Expo, which is video games, it's board games, it's cosplay, but it's a sort of general audience. What's it been like teaching the game or seeing it being taught with people who maybe don't play a huge amount of board games? They just want to do an activity.
Yeah, I think that's what's good about this game. It's a real easy entry into it. It's visually simple. It doesn't take a long time to play. So, you see people come past. To be honest, there's all walks of life now. I mean, finding not just the Expo, but overall, there's a lot more variety in the people that you see at these events. And people are just more willing to have that sort of tactile experience together. So while there's a lot of video game sort of stuff here, I'm finding that just each event that I go to, there's more interest around tabletop gaming overall.
When you do a map-based tile game, you can't help but compare it to Carcassonne. Is that a good thing that there's a frame of reference, or is it a bad thing that you're sort of compared to it like one of the juggernauts, or whether one of the classic welcoming games of all the board games?
No, I mean I quite like it. I'll dive into that. To be compared to something as big as Carcassonne it's an honour in a way that people would actually put the two games side by side. But it's also a great way for people to frame the game. You walk past the box, you have no idea really what it's about. But if someone says, "Oh, it's kind of like Carcassonne," then at least that allows people to, get into their mind the type of experience that they'd be getting with it, to even look at the box in the first place. So I think that it's an advantage. Sure, a lot of people say it's not as good as Carcassonne. Some people say it's better than Carcassonne. Everyone has their own opinion, but I think it promotes a lot of great discussion and that's good for the game.
Jon-Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, at the Game Expo, I managed to check out 3 new games and play them, demo them. and I want to talk about them now. The first one is Godzilla Tokyo Clash. We played 4 players. It's a like a Godzilla monster card battler. So I think unmatched, but you're using Godzilla's monsters. You're using cards to move, attack. It has an energy system where you kind of need to destroy buildings to get energy to power your attacks. You can chain cards together. So I found it kind of interesting. I don't think it defeats unmatched for me. I think I like that more. The theme, like, I'm not a big Godzilla fan. I like Shin Godzilla, but the game didn't grab me enough to be like, oh, I have to have this. I'd certainly play it again. Then I played Rear Window, which is sort of a game based on the Hitchcock movie where you're trying to... It plays very much like Mysterium, where you got one person who's almost like a game master trying to set out clues to say, in each of these 4 rooms there is people or attributes, and you have to try and play cards out to suggest who is there. It plays a lot faster than Mysterium does, so I didn't mind it, but I'm also not a huge fan of that sort of genre. I think the fact that it has a shorter playtime than Mysterium makes me more interested that it could play. We played it with 1 game master and 2 players. I think that's probably a good fit. I think more people is probably just adding to the discussion in a way that just lengthens the game. The final game I played was Pan Am, which I really enjoyed. It's a route building stock market game where, unlike Tickets Ride, you're not just trying to build routes around the map. You're trying to build routes in a way that you can then be bought or sell to Pan Am, who slowly expands out based on dice, to then get more money to buy shares. So that random nature of where the routes are being bought was really interesting. So it feels like a Welcome Plus game. There's a bit more to it than Ticket to Ride, so I actually really enjoy Pan Am. That would be something I'd be on the hunt for. And those were the games I checked out at the Game Expo. That was the Game Expo. Hopefully we'll see it again next year.